Aaron Elliot Quinn.
Aaron Quinn Elliot.
Aaron
But you were close.
Elliot's your last name?
Yeah.
Oh, I read it backwards then on the. Anyway, welcome to Songcrafters.
Well, thank you.
You know what I want right away is some background. Where you're from, how your interest in this music developed, and yeah,
Okay.
where are you from?
Greensburg. Lived in Greensburg all my life.
Okay.
And, grew up here.
And what brought you to Irish music or interest in?
Mostly my family's heritage.
Okay.
And I'd say probably about 15 years ago I started researching it and getting into it. And then within the past probably, I'd say 6 years, began to perform, Irish music.
Sure.
And, original folk music.
I see that you take it back, but the history of Irish influence is really vast on American culture. That's one thing.
Most definitely.
Yeah, I've been looking into. I often think of the Beatles as being an Irish band.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because Lennon and McCartney, the main songwriters, were only 2 generations away from Ireland. Yeah.
Right.
So
and you know that Jimi Hendrix was in the Dubliners fan club.
No, I didn't know that. Yeah.
That's true.
But yeah, when you hear this basic song structure here at Songcraft, that's what we look at. Verse, verse, chorus, verse. Yeah. And this is a typical Irish setup. I notice as you're playing too that going to the E minor often, between major chords is another typical. I don't want to say typical. Maybe you could tell me more about that, but it's got that Irish sound to it.
Yeah, it's
you know what I mean?
It's just typical to the harmonic structure of
even going
Irish music.
And when you go back to doo-wop, C, A minor, F and G, and there's that feeling of the Irish folk song in that too.
And punk rock too. It's a common chord progression in.
Don't get me started.
Punk rock.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Green Day. Those melodies. You hear the Irish influence, whether they know it or not.
Right.
Yeah. That's how strong the influence is. So it's great that you come in here and you've got original songs. At the same time, taking us back to the original sound, from the country. Have you ever been to Ireland? I have to ask you that.
No, I haven't.
You got to go.
Yeah. I'm getting myself a one-way ticket.
Yeah. Well, the I don't know what is it, rumor, myth, whatever you want to say about Dublin and drinking, was verified by an ex-girlfriend of mine who went there and said it's so true. She said, any hour of the day, they're lying in the gutter everywhere, And I thought, no, well, is that, I lived in San Francisco, a lot of drunks there. It's one, along with New Orleans, it's a, alcoholic city, and still, it's quiet at night.
The safer thing though with Dublin is everybody walks drunk. They don't drive drunk. There's extreme penalties for driving drunk.
Oh, good. Yeah.
So everybody walks drunk. And if you go into a pub and have a pint, since you can't smoke in the pubs there anymore, you can go outside and walk down the street with your pint, and at the next pub you come across, you're going to give your empty glass to them.
And they'll fill it.
Oh, they'll just take it for you. So
I see. It's kind of like the library loan system with
then every so often all the glasses get recollected and redistributed to all the pubs. But you can walk down the street having a pint.
See, social order.
To some degree.
Reminds me of a joke, but I probably shouldn't go there. Did the Irish invent or create days of the weeks? Yeah?
What is it?
Days of the week. They sort of gave names to the structure of the calendar. Okay.
I don't know.
Well, that was part of the joke.
Because back when I used to drink heavily, I never knew what day of the week it was.
Well, maybe that's, so that they'd have a reference point. Yeah, anyway.
It's possible.
Yeah. Anyway, Irish, no, I'm not going to tell it. No, it's too, I'll tell it off camera later. Irish and a Greek guy were at a bar drinking. And the Greek was telling all the great things about the history of Greece and all that Greeks had done. And he said, well, we developed philosophy. And the Irish said, well, we developed the calendar.
No.
And the Greek said, well, we invented sex. And the Irish said, yeah, but we did it with women. I had to go there, okay? Anyway, you've been playing around the county.
Yeah.
And
I've played out of state a couple times.
Okay.
And I've been playing ever since I was probably 11 years old. I'm 30 now. Mm-hmm. So
okay.
I've played all my life.
Fantastic.
Also played the uilleann pipes, but I don't have.
How long have you been actually writing songs, though?
Ever since I started playing, really.
Mm-hmm.
I can remember songs that I
Good.
would begin to write when I was 11, 12 years old.
Is there a process, and I ask almost all songwriters this, is there a process that you usually find yourself going through in the song to develop a song? Because there's many sometimes, and sometimes it's accidental, sometimes it's discovery.
Very much so. I can't just sit down and write a song.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be. I just have to have that spark. I have to have the feeling inside, and it'll come to me at the usually the most ridiculous times, like washing dishes, or just out driving around, and then you find yourself trying to pull the car over or trying to write the song lyrics down on an old napkin without getting into a serious accident.
As a songwriter myself, it's never quite consistent whether or not the idea for the lyric comes first or the tune. Is that also?
Yeah,
I mean, I could be jamming and the tune comes about, and then later I'll think, well, this idea fits in here.
Yeah, sometimes you write the lyrics first, sometimes you write the.
Yeah, it's never really consistent.
It's never consistent.
Yeah, I think that's what the essence of songwriting is. Like my older brother, writes a lot of instrumental music, no lyrics, and I think the complexity of adding lyrics is like several talents at once. It's being a writer,
right,
and it's being a musician, and it's fusing those together. So it's not always. I don't want to say it's not easy, because I was talking with Tim Krupar, when we were doing the interview, and he brought up that sometimes the music doesn't come from him; it comes through him.
I feel
you know what that is,
a lot of my stuff.
Yeah.
It's like I'm just continuing on a tradition that's been going on since the beginning of
that too.
Beginning of sound.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah. Well, it's been a really pleasure to have you here. Let me see if I get this straight, because your last name is Elliot.
Yes, Aaron.
I'll remember the Elliot Company. You own that. Yeah. Aaron Elliot, thank you, and you're going to give us one more song.
Yes.
Great.
Thank you.
All right, the second song I'm going to play for you is a song called The Lowlands of Holland. Oh, when the day was married, and in my marriage bed, there came a boatsy captain, and he stood at my bed head, saying, rise, young wedding man, will you come along with me to the lowlands of Holland for to fight the enemy? Now Holland is a lovely land, and in there grows fine grain. It is a place of residence for soldiers to remain. The sugar cane grows plentiful, and the tea grows on each tree. I only had the want to love her, now she's gone far away from me. Says the mother to her daughter, what makes you so lament? Is there nae a man in Ireland to please your heart content? Irishmen, he of in Ireland, as alas there are none for me. For the high winds and the stormy seas have departed me long from me. I'll wear no shoes upon my feet, nor comb run through my hair. I'll wear no handkerchief around my neck for to shade my beauty rare. And never will I marry until the day I die. For the high winds and the stormy seas have departed me, love, from me. Oh, when did I was married, and in my marriage bed there came a bold sea captain, and he stood at my bed head, saying, "Rise, rise, young wedded man, will you come there along with me? For the lowlands of Holland, for the fighting enemy, to the lowlands of Holland, for the fighting enemy." Thank you. Thank you very much.